maybe high profile enough last week. The Naomh Conaill team doctor sent a letter into the Ulster Council looking for postponement of this game on the grounds of player welfare. The game went ahead, and it kind of feeds back into the fact that the Donegal game went to a third one. I know we had a penalty shootout in Ulster on Sunday. I think it's something that you're going to have to look at bringing in.
The penalties?
Yeah,
well, they are now. And do you know
but they like in certain counties. So, for example, if the Donegal game had finished in a draw last week, there was no finish on the day.
Yeah, Naomh Conaill wanted
wouldn't agree to it. Guido were happy to finish on the day, but ultimately, I think we're going to have to start looking to finish on the day because, look, it's brilliant that Naomh Conaill got over the line, and fair play to them. That's an incredible achievement, especially when they're away from home, like a long old trek down from Glenties to Cavan on Sunday. But I just don't think it's going to be feasible anymore when counties are doing what they're doing, like not starting the championship till August.
It's ridiculous the way some
and if they insist on doing these round robin group systems, which they're perfectly entitled to doing, but then teams are getting their 3 or 4 games, and like I thought it was a good point as well. I saw someone making the point, this phrase people said in soccer the whole time, it's a cruel way to lose a game on penalties. Well, it could be a cruel way if someone gets a point in the 65th minute, or if you lose by 7 or 8 points, then maybe there's a bit of cruelty to that. Like however you lose, it's going to hurt. Look, probably tangent away from that. But I mean, I don't think they should have been put in that position. I don't think they should have gone to 3 games when they knew that they had to get a team for Ulster.
Declan Bogue was explaining in one of his articles that the Antrim game, the semi-final that went to a free kick competition, that's not actually in the rule book, and the penalties are now, and the GAA, and especially up in Ulster, they are looking to make sure that the penalties do happen because the fixture logjam is such that you need to decide it. And also, it's cruel to lose to a last second score as well as penalties. But if I had the choice, right, and I said this before, I think it should be, right, extra time finishes, they can't be separated. I think the referee should have a certain signal via his whistle to let you know it's now golden score. And just do it that way. At least everyone can say we had a chance on the field.
Yeah.
And it is decided on the night.
Yeah.
It won't go on that long. It might go on another 5 minutes or so. Maybe, well, look, there'll be an extraordinary circumstance like your man Eisner playing the tennis when it goes on for half a day, trying to get that final set. Yeah,
look, I think a case can be made for replays maybe in certain instances if you have the time, but I just don't think we shouldn't be going to second replays,
Yeah.
And Ulster also made the point that people are probably wondering, there's 2 week break now to the Ulster semi-finals. They did not have time then we'll get on to in a minute maybe the Trillock Derry Gonley game, because I suppose this is probably the same conversation, to not do a replay, but they said, look, we have club leagues, we have Ulster under 20 championship and all that, so yeah, I don't think there was any real problem with kind of finishing that on the day. And I think ultimately, you see, that's something the Ulster Council brought in. Donegal as a county decided not to do that, and other counties aren't doing it. I mean, you saw in Kerry last weekend that the game went to a replay, and Dr. Crokes had to come out again this weekend. But I think ultimately some counties, when they look at their schedules, like say Kerry put their whole championship back until after the All-Ireland, and that went to an All-Ireland final replay. I think it's something that they're going to have to start looking into. Like, can counties afford to have replays anymore?
So we'll move on to Derry Gonley Harps against Trillick. So this was 117 to 311. Then it went to penalties, which Derry Gonley won 6-5. But a tweet by Neil Loughran kind of sums it up. This game will be settled by penalties after a Conall Jones free with the last kick of the game for Derry Gonley. Free was given away by Matty Donnelly, who was only back on the field a few minutes. Some drama. Now the thing with Matty Donnelly is that he's the Tyrone captain, so he's obviously very important to Trillick, that he went off injured at half time in normal time, but came back on with 2 minutes to go in extra time to get turned over in his own half.
Yeah.
Obviously he wasn't right at that stage. They probably wanted him to take a penalty. Like, that's just such a gamble, and it's after backfiring, you'd imagine.
Yeah, and I'd say it's a number of regrets that they're going to have. And like, obviously the record of Tyrone clubs is just, it's shocking. Once again, it's really, really striking, isn't it?
No win since 2002 in Ulster Club.
And
title win, that is.
They were up by, I think it was 3 points towards the end of normal time, got reeled in. They were up by 4 points early on in extra time, got reeled in. And it just looked like Derry Gonley just kind of hung in there. And then got that bit of luck. I was watching Neil Loughran actually was streaming the penalty shootout, and was watching it back, like Lee Brennan, who had scored one earlier, sends the keeper the wrong way but hits the post.
Yeah, and then it was one of the Jones, Conall Jones, he scored the crucial one. What do you make of this idea with the penalty shootouts? And it's the same with the 65 competitions in hurling. You pick 5 people, and once, let's say, it ends level after the first 5 shots each, you go back to the same 5 guys again. I don't like it.
I think we should be going all the way down, and like, in soccer, you see the odd penalty shootout, it ends up being like the goalkeeper's taking it. I want a 14-all penalty shootout, and next thing it's one of the keepers facing each other.
But actually, funnily enough, in GA, you'd end up with the goalkeepers being the best shooters anyway.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Rory Began stepping up versus like a midfielder for the average club team? You'd probably fancy the goalkeeper in that situation. So Derry Connolly are going to end up against Kilcoo in the next game. So
Be interested to know how much preparation either do. Like, or have teams in Ulster now started practicing
penalty
shootouts in training now?
I can't imagine. Oh,
Well, before,
maybe,
I'd imagine, given the way that game went down a quarter final, if you have 2 weeks to prepare for your semi-final, and we hear how meticulous teams are in their preparation, surely if you're one of the managers over the next 2 weeks, you do some kind of a penalty shootout, would you?
No doubt. Some sports psychologist is going to make a few bogus quid out of coming in and telling I get the lads mentally prepared for these penalty shootouts. I'd say you will, yeah. Good man. Connacht Senior Football Championship quarter final. That's not, by the way, to rubbish all sports psychologists. It's more the bogus ones I'm thinking of here. The lads who are selling snake oil, because there's plenty of them too.